Talking about a revolution sounds. Don't you know? Talking about a revolution, it sounds like a whisper. While they're standing in the welfare lines, crying the doorsteps of those armies of salvation, wasting time in the uniformed lines, sitting around waiting for a promotion. Don't you know? Talking about a revolution sounds. Who are people gonna rise up and get their share? Who are people gonna rise up? Take what's there. Don't you know you better run, 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 run. Oh, I said you better run, 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 run. It's finally the table I'm starting to turn. It's finally the table I'm starting to turn. It's finally the table I'm starting to turn. It's finally the table.
Ladies and gentlemen, today is Friday, the 18th day of July 2014, and if you can hear the sound of my voice, you are the revolution. My name is Smokin Mekhael, and today is an emergency worldwide broadcast of the revolutionary nightly news. And it's an emergency because there was some breaking news overnight that a Malaysian's airline flight was shot down over Ukraine, Russia, the border of that region. And I'm going to go on record right now to say that this is a false flag operation to usher in World War III. The New World Order, the Illuminati, the military-industrial complex, their modus operandi, their MO, their way of doing things is false flag attacks. False flag attacks. They have been using this since time immemorial. Nero burned Rome while he played his fiddle so that he could blame it on outsiders and consolidate power. Hitler burned the Reichstag so that he could blame it on outsiders, consolidate power, and go on his murderous rampage across the world. The Gulf of Tonkin incident, in where a US ship was attacked in the Southeast Asian Sea by American forces, and this was later declassified. It was attacked by American forces to give them an excuse to start the Vietnam War. And it was later declassified that they attacked their own people. They killed their own people. 9/11, one of the biggest false flag attacks of all. It goes on and on. Their modus operandi is false flag attacks. It's the Hegelian dialectic. Problem, reaction, solution. They cause a problem. They wait for the reaction, which is going to be outrage and people calling for blood. Then they offer the solution, which is what they had already planned for, which is a further implementation of their one world government. Global warfare. I'm calling on everyone with eyes and ears and with two brain cells to rub together to see this for what it is, which is a false flag attack. Even early on, this demon Hillary Clinton has come out and said that there appears to be some growing awareness that Russian insurgents were behind downing the plane. This has been coming for a long time. While Gaza burns, while children are being mutilated and bombed all over the world, they move in to Russia. And this may be the final straw that kicks off World War III and the massive collapse that we're about to see economically. But fighting against that economic collapse is a spiritual renaissance, a spiritual move towards freedom, a spiritual shift of power for people who are awake and who are understanding what's going on. from what I've seen on my news feed, people know what's going on. People understand that this is a false flag. You've done it too many times, and we have too much information through the internet. You can't keep your lies covered any longer. You're a bunch of murderous parasites, and I'm not going to stand for your death and destruction anymore. Me and the free people of the world are standing up, and we're saying, no more! The revolution is coming to get you. You're not going to kill any more innocent people on my watch. The world is waking up. Now, I'm shooting this video very quickly. I'm going to edit it, render it, and upload it because I'm running straight to the city so I can buy more of this stuff. Gold. Silver. Because when conflict kicks off in a greater way in Russia, the world economy is going to collapse, and we're going to have a situation worse than the Depression all those years ago. Now, they're not elite. The cowards, the filth who think that they run the world, speak to each other in code. And I'm going to show you a video of Christine Lagarde, the head of the disgusting shysters, the IMF, who bankrupt countries all over the world and enslave their populations. She made a very interesting speech, and she was very blatant about putting these numerological messages in her speech, and she points to something specific happening on a very specific date. I'm going to show you that video now.
Thank you so much. Merci beaucoup. As you can tell, I do as I'm told, and I thought I had to stand up at the time when my immediate predecessor would sit down, and clearly I failed. Good afternoon, and thank you very much for having me with you. I would like to thank the National Press Club, and especially President Angela Grilling-Keane, for not only inviting me to this prestigious venue, but essentially presenting the outline of what I want to talk to you about now. So it's as if we had prepared that together, which we have not. Now, let me first of all, of course, begin by wishing you all a Happy New Year. I guess it's still time to do that, given that we are just exactly halfway through between our Western New Year and the Lunar New Year, which will loom in a few weeks' time. I think it's also appropriate to wish ourselves a Happy New Year, given what I would like to talk to you about, which has to do with the global economy and what we should expect for 2014. Now, I'm going to test you numerology skills by asking you to think about the magic 7. Okay? Most of you will know that 7 is quite a number in all sorts of themes, religions, and I'm sure that you can compress numbers as well. If we think about 2014, all right, I'm just giving you 2014, you drop the 0, 14, 2 times 7. Okay, that's just by way of example, and we're going to carry on. So, if we think about 2014, all right, I'm just giving you 2014, you drop the 0, 14, 2 times 7. Okay, that's just by way of example, and we're going to carry on. So 2014 will be a milestone and hopefully a magic year in many respects. It will mark the 100th anniversary of the First World War back in 1914. It will mark the 70th anniversary, drop the zero, 7, of the Bretton Woods Conference that actually gave birth to the IMF. And it will be the 25th anniversary of the fall of the Berlin Wall. 25th. Okay. It will also mark the 7th anniversary of the financial market jitters that quickly turned into the greatest global economic calamity since the Great Depression. The crisis still lingers. Yet, optimism is in the air. We've left the deep freeze behind us, and the horizon looks just a bit brighter. So my hope and my wish for 2014 is that after those 7 miserable years, weak and fragile, we have 7 strong years. Now, I don't know whether the G7 will have anything to do with it, or whether it will be the G20. I certainly hope that the IMF will have something to do with it. Now, I don't know whether the G7 will have anything to do with it, or whether it will be the G20. I certainly hope that the IMF will have something to do with it.
You see that? She's talking about something very important happening on the 20th of July. Now today's the 18th of July, the 19th in some parts of the United States and other places in the world. But coupled with what has happened in Russia with this plane, I'm advising everyone to defend themselves, protect themselves. I'm getting all my money out of the bank, whatever's left in there, and I'm putting it into silver and gold, because they can just freeze your bank account. When I was working in investment banking, like I've told this story before, in 2008 when there was the panic of 08, there was a news article on the television saying that people should get their money out of a particular investment fund that we operated. The next day at the office was the busiest day that we ever had, with people calling and saying, I want to withdraw $250,000. I want to withdraw $1 million out of this account. And we were giving them the money. The next morning at work, the boss had a meeting with all of us and said, look, if people want to withdraw their money from this option, from now on, you got to tell them it's frozen. Frozen. Can you imagine how irate people were when they would call up to move their money around, withdraw their money, and I would tell them, no, you can't access your money? It was frozen. And that's what banks are allowed to do. That's what was a big part of my awakening, researching how banks operate and understanding that in every bank contract, there's a clause where they don't have to give you your money if there's any type of economic instability or depression or civil strife or war or anything like that. with the flip of a switch, your bank account is going to have nothing in it. But I tell you what, anyone who wants to get this stuff is going to have to go through me. And I dare you to do it, because I have the power of freedom, of love within me. And I'm expressing that, and I'm reaching out to other people with that power right now. And I'm not scared of your sorcery. I'm not scared of the death and destruction that you've heaped upon others since time immemorial. I'm not scared of you in the slightest. This is a very dangerous time, and I call on all of you to have the courage to break away from the system. Put your money into real assets. Stop paying your taxes. Stop funding the machine that kills people all over the world. The government is illegitimate. The government are murderers. They are thieves. They are genocidal maniacs. They have no right to tell anyone how to run their lives, especially you and me. Beware of what's going to happen in the next couple of days, because this is a massive false flag operation, and it's going to, I don't want it to bring in something bad, but it's going to bring in something very bad. Have the courage to look into what's really going on. Put two and two together. A Malaysian's airline flight went missing a few months ago, and they never found the plane, and now the same model of plane, a Malaysian's airline flight, is shot down in Russia to start World War III. This is a false flag attack, and I'm calling you on it. I'm telling you, though, the revolution is stronger than the power of fear. The power of love is stronger than the power of hate. And the people of the world are going to band together and tear down this filthy prison that you have built. I call on you to have the courage to do what's right, to look into what's really going on and withdraw from this evil system. Cooperation with the system, paying your taxes, going along with it, is what is causing the world to collapse. People's indifference is what's causing the world to collapse. I know that you're intelligent. I know that you understand that this is a false flag attack, that they're shooting down that plane so they can start World War III. They're the kings of false flag attacks. You know that. Have the courage to push past the people who might ridicule you. Have the courage to express what's right in your heart. Break free of this government. Break free of the tyranny. I express my solidarity to the people who lost their lives in this incident, and the people who are being sacrificed on a daily basis because of these evil people. Bless you, bless your families. I love you, and I reach out to everyone watching this transmission to stand up and to say, I'm not going to take it anymore. Your lies are done. Your deceptions are through. Your false flag attacks don't work anymore, because we see what's happening. I know that the people of the world are going to stand up. I know that together we're going to tear down this corrupt system and institute something with peace and with love. And I believe and declare that together we will win the revolution. Stay tuned. Woo!